Koikimedia, we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Àwọn sálára àgbà yìí dá, àwa ló láṣà àti èdè. Gbígbédè lárugẹ nílẹ̀ Oòduà o, àwa gangan ni bàbá.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
They never sabi wetin we carry for her.
But we dey move closer before dem go sabi.
I said they never know wetin we carry for body.
But we dey move closer before dem go sabi.
Ọ̀kín lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ, kìnìún ló ló lajú.
Ẹyẹ tó yorí kodò bí àdó, wọ́n pẹ̀jẹ̀ lẹ́nu.
Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa, ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè tó dúdú àga.
Odùduwà kò bá lè gbé wá.
Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣègìrì, ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀, ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé délẹ̀ ìlérí, ká wálé gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé, ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀, àwa ni mọ̀lẹ̀ tí yóò tàn káàkiri.
Ọmọ Odùduwà ni wá.
Koikimedia, àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wọ́n máa ní.
Kásá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wà kájé bùgbà yín jẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wọ́n máa ní.
À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wọ́n máa ní.
News and sports ẹ máa rí gbọ́.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wọ́n máa ní.
Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa ké tantan. Koikimedia ọlọ́lá gbajúmọ̀ mi o, máa bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ o. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata o. À ń gbádùn rẹ, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi, ṣẹ́yìn ló máa fi dìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé máa dé, ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ gájòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀, àjòjì tó bá wọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ á tẹ̀lé ní ẹbọra. Ẹ̀yin lọ máa náwó kóyìnbó tó dé, ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. Koikimedia ṣàwa ní bàbá. Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àdáńtọ́ àtúnpèrègèdè.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ, jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àtúnjàfẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o, tọkàntọkàn.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ikú tí ó ṣe bí lébi òsì, àdìmú bàbá yọ.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
We bring you up closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ òòdùn kan kí oko lára ni.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àpèrègèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Gbogbo ayé ẹ gbọ́, àwa ní bàbá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà yín wá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Odùduwà lágbédá ní, òtítọ́ lágbédá ní.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
A kì í sọ̀dálẹ̀, a kì í sódì kẹta.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àdúró tán, a tún pèrègèdè.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
closer to your doorstep. Koikimedia is around.
To give us latest.
Is around.
To give us latest.
Ladies and gentlemen,
ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo.
ladies and gentlemen,
ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo.
Koikimedia is around.
Once again, I welcome you to our live broadcast on the afternoon of the Wednesday, the 20th day of the month of November, as we continue to give you all the security alert and all the reason why the Yorubas, the Igbos, the Hausas, and the Jaws, and many Nigerians need to start getting worried about the insecurity in Nigeria. So this afternoon, I will be reviewing, I'll be discussing, and I'll be sharing to you some of the latest security threat to many Nigerians by the so many terrorists that is currently operating in Nigeria. I wanted to share the program and invite others to join us because this broadcast will be in English mostly because I want many Nigerians to listen as well. Please do not ask me to speak in Yoruba. I am not communicating to you alone. I am also communicating to the international community, the European Union, the African Union, the United Nations, all the friends of countries that are also part of Nigeria. So there's a lot to cover up. I'll be sharing new videos. I'll be sharing new old videos. But most importantly, if you are not aware of the current state of things in Nigeria, you might want to sit back so that you can be able to be aware that we are now on the security alert. What do I mean by that? The president is currently not at home, but there's quite a lot of security activities, from the killings of the military to the threat to millions of innocent people that are known as Nigerians. So this afternoon, we want to share some of what we have and what is trending right now from the mainstream media in Nigeria and what is also trending outside Nigeria as well. So I want us to sit back so that we can get as much out of today's broadcast. Mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa káàkiri ibi tí ẹ ti ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ní gbogbo àgbáyé pé Yorùbá, Igbo, Hausa, Ìjọ, gbogbo wa ti wà nínú ewu báyìí. A ti wà nínú ewu tàná, a wà nínú ewu tèní, kódà a tún wà nínú ewu ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ti èyí tó ń bọ̀ tí à ń rí, tí à ń ṣe ìkìlọ̀ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. So this afternoon, as we are all aware that there is some activities that is playing out for some days now, for some weeks now. And these activities literally mean that the federal government of Nigeria can no longer save any one of us. As I speak to you right now, the military of Nigeria has been overrun. But many Nigerians that we are explaining to on a daily basis believe that the military cannot be overrun, and probably maybe we are bringing false news. But the military itself is confirming that they have been overrun, and it seems that they can no longer get things sorted out in protecting them Nigerians, in protecting the territorial ground of what is known as Nigeria, and that means that millions of lives is currently at risk. I don't know where I want us to pick it from, but if you are not following the Koikimedia, you will not know what is happening in Nigeria, especially from the perspective of how we want you to hear it. We were told that just a few numbers of military died. That is a lie. Intelligence has got to me that the military lost nothing less than 200 people. Over 200 Nigerian military were ambushed and killed by the Boko Haram between yesterday and today. While the military is giving us a false information, is because the military do not want to put Nigerians in a panic state. But my job is to prepare you that as we speak right now, the intelligence that got to me says that it is not 5 soldiers that were killed. Over 200 Nigerian military has been killed. It is not 4 that has been captured. There is more than 20 Nigerian military that has now been captured by the Boko Haram terrorists. I want you to hold on to that. Apart from that, there is also intelligence which has been confirmed by the Nigerian security that there is now influx of weapons that is being brought to Nigeria by Algerian arms traffickers. Many of us might not understand what is being played out. We are having people that are supporting their own, and I'm talking about those that have the same ideology, those that wants to kill innocent Nigerians, and those that wants to take the territorial ground of every part of Nigeria. I want you to hold on to that. Last couple of weeks, the military told us about a new terrorist organization in Nigeria. And a lot of us, were kind of not shocked, but we were asking the question, how long has this new terrorist organization been operating before we were told? I can confirm that the Nigerian military and the Nigerian security were well aware as far back as 3 months ago about these new terrorists, but they did not tell Nigerians. So, and those new terrorists is called Lakurawa, is the new terrorist that is currently operating in Nigeria as we speak today. I want you to hold on to that. There's also many intelligence that many rural areas in Nigeria today have been overthrown by the terrorists. That has been confirmed. That itself is something that the Nigerian military cannot deny. My question is, could all these new terrorists that is being showcased was the reason why Lagbaja was killed? Taoreed Lagbaja, the former chief of army staff, was killed, but we were told he died. I can confirm to you that he never died, but he was killed. By who? I'm sure we all know those that do not want the stability of Nigeria, and these are the terrorists that are attacking Nigerians in every part of Nigeria. I'm not talking about just kidnapping. I'm talking about people that have an agenda to make sure that our lives will be ungovernable. I want you to hold on to that. So, looking at some of the intelligence that has arrived on my desk in the last couple of hours, I had no other choice than to come out and start giving you all this information so that millions of us can prepare for what might happen either next year, in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, in the next 4 years, or tomorrow. I don't know. But what I know is that if we go back to some of what we have heard, some of what we have been told, some of what we were warned about that we did not do anything about, is now playing out. And it's coming gradually, and they're coming very fast. The question is, was Taoreed Lagbaja, the chief of army staff, killed so that this new agenda can foster out quickly? Because we know that as much as we might not agree with everything about the Nigerian military, but the change of guard means that there was some kind of, push that this new formation of the new military that took over after Buhari left, because we knew where Buhari stand. Buhari refused to change the chief of army staff for a very long time because Buhari was part of the terrorists. Buhari was operating as a terrorist, but none of us wanted to accept it that he was a terrorist. But now that the new president has taken over, we are now getting the fact and intelligence that Lagbaja was killed, was taken out of the picture, so that the agenda of the new terrorists can push in. And we can say that since the death of Lagbaja in the last couple of weeks, we are now hearing more ambush of the Nigerian military. That is part of the game, because Lagbaja was pushed out so that this agenda can continue as it has been in the past. But for us to get the clarity of all these, we need to also take us back to some of what we were warned about, some of what we were told, that as at the time that Buhari was in power, as at the time that there were a lot of operation of insurgency, of terrorist attack, from the Chibok girls to attacks to the United Nations building in 2013 and many other activities, it is now clear that the agenda to overrun Nigerians is gradually playing out. But many Nigerians still do not want to accept and agree that Nigeria is under a serious Fulani agenda to overthrow the country. In as much as we can see all the evidence, in as much as we can all sit back and continue to review all the security intelligence that continue to come through to us, many Nigerians still say that nothing of such can happen because we have a government that will defend and protect us. I can tell you today that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not be able to protect us, will not be able to defend, will not be able to give us the security that we want to save our lives. He could not even protect his own very close ally, and I'm talking about the Chief of Army Staff. The president could not be able to protect him. Lagbaja was not sick, Lagbaja was not ill, Lagbaja was killed because the terrorist agenda is moving to the next stage. So, as we are preparing us for some of what we want to, give you in terms of the information that we have, first, I got to play some of the videos that we have played in the past so that we can tick, 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 and ask questions whether the agenda that did not play out 2 years ago when this video was released is something that is about to play out. This is something that I want us to all talk about. Let's listen to this.
Which is it for you, Dr. Badaya? Do you think the government is unwilling or unable to protect the people of Southern Kaduna?
In fact, it is not only unable, it is unwilling, and we have good reason to feel that they are part and parcel of the killers. Let me make some revelations to you.
That's a very big.
Some of
That's a very big allegation, Dr. Obadiah. The government is part and parcel of the killers.
Yes.
That's big.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. How would the government just say, "Oh, it is revenge killing" and so on? Then you leave it there. Oh, because it is revenge killing and so on and so forth. The body language of this administration, the body language of the state government, shows clearly that they have a hand in the killings. No doubt about it. Because you see, General Abacha. And people don't give him his due. Do you think you would have tolerated such nonsense? And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. One or two who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They're already in the south, in the rainforest of the south. They're everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2. The phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities, going from house to house, killing prominent people. I can tell you, this is the game plan. By 2022, they want to start a civil war in Nigeria.
We are now in 2024. The civil war has not yet fully started, but the civil war is currently being engaged on a daily basis. But many Nigerians expect that the civil war will be something that will become very big, but it is played out bit by bit. But someone warned us as well, just before the video that we played earlier. I was trying to get that video, but I have that video now in my possession. This individual warned us that if anybody is expecting that either the previous government or the new one, because I am now adding the new one, which is President Bola Tinubu, will defend and protect the territorial ground of Nigeria, should start thinking otherwise. Should start preparing that this new administration would not be able to protect us, will not be able to give our loved ones the security that they deserve, will not be able to even protect the military itself, as about 200 Nigerian military have been killed by ambush between yesterday and today. Over 40 of them are missing as we speak right now. But what the military is telling us is that only 5 were killed. I can confirm that 5 were not what was killed, but 200 people were killed and their bodies will never be told to their loved one. Let's listen to this as well.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
And that is what Nigerians are waiting for. They want to die one by one because nobody is listening to the information and nobody is working with it. Some might ask that, what do we do? Since we have the government to protect us. But I can confirm to you that we don't have a government when it comes to security, because that is a complete zero. Your life is now at stake and you would have to decide what you would do to protect your loved ones and to protect yourselves. Now, let's come back a little bit more. There is a lot of evidence that continue to be shown to us, that continue to be played to us And some of this evidence is pointing that the northern part of Nigeria, they are stakeholders that do not want, they are stakeholders that are involved in terrorism. Terrorism has become one of the biggest business venture in the northern part of Nigeria by the Fulanis. But many Nigerians say that, this can be disputed, this can be resolved. How is what nobody has explained to us. But as we continue to move on a daily basis from point A to B, either you're traveling to the northern part of the country, you're traveling to the middle part, you're going to the southeast, to the southwest, every Nigerians have now become an endangered species that can be picked up by terrorists and that can be dealt with. Either you pay the ransom or you might likely be killed. We were warned by many people that the bandit is a business. It has become the biggest business venture in Nigeria today. Not just Nigeria, across the border. We'll still be coming to some of the information I gave at the beginning. I am just taking us back so that we can be well understanding that there is now a security alert. And the reason why Lagbaja was killed is because this agenda is getting pushed, and is getting pushed because they can realize that Nigeria wants to break away by those that believe in the right to self-determination, and they are now pushing everything to make sure that that is not going to happen, just as we are watching around the world that there might be a World War III as America has approved Ukraine to use the long-range weapon into Russia. And Russia has confirmed that they will have no other choice than to release their nuclear weapon. So you can see that as much as a lot of this agenda is real, some say it is not real. Let's listen to this again.
We can say now banditry is an industry in Zamfara State. Last month, we arrested a member of the State House of Assembly in Banditry.
You heard that very well. Last month, according to, I am not the one saying it. This is not an AI video. This is a well video that has been in the circulation played by the mainstream media in Nigeria, that a House of Representatives in one of the northern part of Nigeria was arrested. It's part of the banditry. We had Malafia saying to us that one of the governors is El-Rufai. We know that already. Yet, many Nigerians are sleeping as a dead corpse. But my job is to tell you to prepare that there is now a security alert and they can attack any part of Nigeria. I don't know when, but the intelligence is saying to me that what took place yesterday with the ambush of the Nigerian military personnel that led to the death of over 200 of them, 40 has been moved, weapons were taken. We should all now prepare for the worst case scenario anytime soon. How soon is what I don't have the details. But the intelligence that came to me for me to come back online to now is saying that we need to speak out quickly, because as Tinubu is currently out of the country, for every time Tinubu is out of the country, there is this agenda that continue to push quickly. Let's go back and listen to this video.
Here in the State, we arrested a district head we also as well arrested a former local government chairman.
You heard that well as well. A local government chairman who was arrested is involved in banditry, is involved in terrorism, because there's nothing called banditry. I want us to look at this headline. This was another headline on the May 4, 2024. This year. It's just about a few months back. This has been confirmed by one of the state governors in Castina. Banditry is now business venture for government officials, security agencies. Who are the security agencies? We're talking about the DSS, the police, the military, They are all involved in this terrorism. And that is why if you look behind my back from the video, from my background, which I'm going to show you again, my background that you're watching right now, these were people that were intercepted. They are Algerian weapon traffickers. Their job is to push in as many weapons to the terrorists to be used to kill innocent Nigerians. So I am telling Nigerians right now that you are now and also becoming the tools that will be used by the terrorists. And we are putting this out as well to the international community, that there is a security alert in Nigeria of an agenda by the terrorists to kill millions of Nigerians. And I'm not talking about thousands now. The intelligence is saying that millions of people will have to die, but we are hoping that these can be reversed by those that can stop it. Where this attack is going to happen, I don't have all the details. But from all the indices, from everything that we are seeing on a daily basis, it is now clear that what took place yesterday was just a child's play. Remember that I told you that Lakarua was well aware of, the security intelligence were aware of this new terrorist, but we come back to that. Why we were not told is something I'm not aware of. But this police officer is giving us a clear indicator that there are people involved. We are not just talking about ordinary Nigerians selling pepper, a mechanic, a marua, We are talking about high-profile people that are using terrorism to bring the agenda of Islamizing Nigeria, which we also have evidence to that. I'll be showing that video to you because we have that in the archive. What I am still playing, I have not gone to the latest one, but I am still touching on the 200 military personnel that were ambushed and killed. About 40 of them have been moved out to where we don't know. But I'm talking now about the arms weapon traffickers. How many times have they moved weapons into the part of Nigeria? We were aware that, according to the late Dr. Malafia, that weapons is all over Nigeria by these terrorists, and they will activate at the appropriate time. How soon, again, is what we don't know, but we are putting our ears down. We are pushing our intelligence to give us this information so that we can alert the international community when this attack might take place. But right now, as I speak to you, Nigeria is now currently in a big danger by the security threat to millions of innocent Nigerians. Regardless of whether they believe in the dissolution of Nigeria is not the reason why we are here today. I am here today to alert you that you are now have to beef your security in your estate, around your vicinity. You must speak out if you see large members of those that are Fulanese, that you know, and I can tell that many of us know the difference between the Igbos, the Yorubas, and the rest of the ethnic indigenous people in Nigeria. We saw them during the COVID-19 in 2019, when they were pushed into the southwest and the southeast by the Dangote trucks. Right now, the agenda to activate is getting closer, and I am not making this up. We had Malapia told us that they will attack, they will start a civil war in 2022. They pushed that because there was also a pushback. But it seems that now that Bola Tinubu, the president, cannot take the charge of the military right now. He has lost control of the military. And that is why we are asking many of the international community, the friends of Nigerians, to think about the millions of people that would have to be caught up with these terrorist attacks. And many of their friends, I'm talking about many of the international community that have their citizens, like the British, the Americans, the Indians, the Canadians, millions of different foreign expatriates, and those that are living and working peacefully in Nigeria. Every one of them now are prone to an attack at any point. It is not just one attack, it's going to be a coordinated attack. And I hope that the Americans are also looking into this intelligence, because I'm aware that this intelligence is currently in America, is in the MI5, is in the Canadian, is in different part of the world, but they are not saying out. I don't know why, but we are giving you this alert now that there is a danger that is getting closer to Nigeria.
So you can see that involvement of this class of people in banditry is more making the situation to become more and more complex. So in essence, I can say that all caliber of people now are involved. All manner of people are involved in this banditry. More alarming and more disturbing is the involvement of a district head in supplying drugs to the bandits. So in that respect, your presence here today.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for your time tonight. My question earlier is that are there political motivation for the rise of banditry in the the northwestern region of the country? Who are those that are backing or supporting or fueling banditry in the region? Your Excellency, can you hear me?
Yes, please, can you repeat yourself?
All right, so I'm saying, my question is, who are there those who are backing and politically motivating banditry in the northwestern region?
Thank you very much. There are so many insinuations as to what causes the banditry in our region, but to me, and to my understanding and from the little knowledge I have, being the governor of the state for almost a year now, I understand that the issue of the hypothesis behind political motives about banditry is not true. I think purely what causes banditry in our place, the root cause of it was injustice. There were a lot of injustices that were done on the planet which causes this problem to spring over time. This thing has been with us for a very long time, and it has started small, and it has grown big now. And then there are some collaborators from the houses who are staying within the towns, who are serving as the providers of logistics to those bandits. But the issue of the hypothesis behind there is some foreigners involved, there are some people.
You heard that very well. There are foreigners involved. Who are these foreigners? What part of the world? Who are these countries that are also supplying heavy, sophisticated ammunition to terrorists? We've just heard the report that an Algerian traffickers are moving weapons. How long has this weapon been moved? How many years ago? Who are those receiving the weapons? And at what borders? Where are the customs? Where are the police? But it looks like the police is telling us that this has been going on for a while. Let's go back again to the video that we're listening to right now.
From the foreign land that are coming to inflict this thing on our people is purely a political statement by some people who just want to use that as a political goal to them. In the issue of security, then secondly, what also causes the recruitment under the logistics services for the bandit was as a result of poverty. Because surprisingly, with 2,000, 5,500 naira, you can be able to convince some of the youth to join into this exercise, which brings about money. And now it has turned out to be a business venture. A business venture for the criminals and the business venture for also some people who are in government and some people who are in the security outfit and some people who are being responsible for day-to-day activities of their people. Because these are so many reasons why that this banditry were unable to bring an end to it. because you may not know who among those people that are surrounding you. It may be your driver, it may be your houseboy, it may be your blood brother, it may be your father, it may be your younger brother. So it can be anybody, because we have caught so many people who are saddled with responsibility for people involved in this criminality.
Once again, today is the 20th of November 2024. It's a security alert as we continue to give you all the headlines and what is happening with the latest security threat to the lives of millions of innocent Nigerians. And we hope that the international community will look into all these as quickly as possible, as swiftly as possible, so that we can save the lives of millions of people. Now, let's take us to some of what is trending, like I said, in the last couple of hours regarding these terrorist attacks. But before that, again, I got this video to add to that before we move to the next one. And the video you're watching right now, these are as many other videos that we kept in our archives. You can see how sophisticated the weapons are with the RPG, the AK-49, the G49, as many of the weapons that we're talking about. These weapons has been pushed to many of them, and it seems that they are still supplying more weapons until, we are now asking the question, are we as Nigerians, or those that still want the country, are you prepared for the worst case scenario? What will be your own plan should you be attacked by these terrorists at the point where you will not get the support from your government? These are questions that you need to ask yourself. How do you defend and protect your family? How do you protect your loved ones? Let's just get the soundtrack from these Boko Haram terrorists, the Fulani terrorists. And like I said, this is not a new video, but these are operations on one of the major highways in Nigeria. Let's hear the soundtrack from that. Well, let's come out of that and let's give you this video that we're about to watch right now. This is the former Navy Commodore Kunle OLAYOMI. This was 7 months ago on the ambush on soldiers in Delta State, Nigeria. Most of the time when events happen in the southeast part, we are quick to blame those that we shouldn't be blaming, because nobody wants to talk about the truth about the invasion of terrorists that are happening across the country. But we're going to come back to him, but let me keep you up to date quickly. Algerian arms, and this is coming from the Koikimedia International News.com, where you can follow all the latest news and as much of what is being played out in Nigeria and around the world. Make sure you follow that. Algerian arms trafficker has confessed to supplying arms to bandits in Nigeria's northwestern state. 4 AK-47 rifles were recovered. Well, that is what they want us to know, but we are sure that this is not the first time that they are moving weapons in their large quantity. Let's go straight to it. This happened in Zamfara State. And we know because according to the travel alert to Nigeria by the travel alert Nigeria by the UK government, warn everyone that is traveling this Christmas to avoid places that are known to be very prone to terrorist activities. So if you're traveling in Christmas time or you're planning the New Year festival time, do not try to travel. And I'm going with what the Foreign Commonwealth Development Offices is saying here. This is not my word. This is from their word. It is still current as of today, and I hope they'll be adding more updates in the next couple of days, especially as intelligence is currently with the UK, the America, the Canada, the France, and many other countries as well. And I hope they'll be advising their citizens about this new terrorist alert that we are bringing to your, the live transmission right now. Areas where FCDO advised against travel: the Northeast Nigeria, Borno State, Yobe State, Adamawa State, Gombe State. These are no-go area if you are traveling from the United Kingdom. Bauchi State as well has been included. If you're going to the Northwest Nigeria, as we are going to be reporting from Zamfara right now, where an Algerian arms trafficker has admitted to supplying weapons to terrorists across Nigeria's northwestern state for 8 years. Imagine these young criminals have been supplying weapons. Is the Algerian government aware of this? Or is this something that is coming from another country, through one country or the other, getting to Nigeria? Yorubas, Igbos, Hausas, everyone now needs to wake up that the agenda is going to be completed if we do not push back quickly. This intelligence that got to me, like I said to you, is currently in the hands of many countries as I speak to you right now. So if you look at Zamfara State and the northwest part of Nigeria for 8 years, imagine for 8 years, this was like 4 years before we started Yoruba Nation campaign. That means if we play back before Professor Adebanji Akintoye and Dr. Chisunde Igboho came out quickly and started warning Yoruba people that we are in danger. So for first 4 years, because we started the full campaign of Yoruba Nation somewhere around 2019. But if you go back to Nnamdi Kanu, you will realize that the Biafra have been talking about this, but nobody wanted to listen. You know why? Because Nnamdi Kanu is from the southeast part of Nigeria. But now, as many Yoruba people that are still not yet convinced that there is still an agenda, and this agenda will finally come true if we do nothing. I am not making this up. You can see it written right there in Zamfara, Nigeria, an Algerian arms trafficker. And maybe we should quickly give you, what it means to be arms trafficker. When you are arms trafficker, that means your job is to give weapons. So let's go to Wikipedia quickly and get a background of what it means. What it means when you are arms trafficking. Arms trafficking, or someone known as gun runner, is the illicit trade, is an illegal trade that anyone around the world, especially countries, do not want it to happen. Illicit trade is the production or distribution of a good or services that is considered illegal. by a legislature. It includes trade that are strictly illegal, like weapons. What kind of weapons has been delivered to terrorists across the northwest Nigeria for the last 8 years is what we don't know. But if you go back to what Malapia says, it made it clear to us that they have sophisticated weapons. They have the network. One of those networks is the Algerian that has been supplying weapons to the northwest part of Nigeria, that the UK government also, under the northwest Nigeria, you are advised not to travel to Kaduna State, Katsina State, including Zamfara State. Also, you are advised not to travel to Kano State, Jigawa State, Sokoto State, and 20 kilometers of the border with Niger in Kebbi State. Also, the North Central Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory. You are also not to travel to Niger State, Kogi State, Plateau State, and Taraba State. All these are one of the most prone areas for a terrorist to kidnap foreigners for ransom or to be killed. Let's go back to what it means to be arms trafficking. Arms trafficking, as we said, are illicit trade of contraband small arms, explosives, and ammunition, which constitute part of a broad range of illegal activities often associated with transnational criminal organizations. The illegal trade of the small arms, unlike other organized crime commodity, is more closely associated with exercising power in communities, which is what is being played out now. The Fulani terrorists are pushing the agenda into our communities from Plateau State to Adamawa State, all the way down to the Yoruba side and also to the southeast, the Middle Belt. Instead of achieving economic gain, scholars estimated that illegal arms transactions amount to about $1 billion annually. And you can see while this Algerian that has been caught is confessing that it is not just yesterday that we started. We have been supplying weapons, ammunition, explosives for the last 8 years. These are what Professor Adebanji Akintoye is warning Yoruba people, that we are in danger and our life is currently in danger. But the Yoruba says everything is fine. There's no arms. There's no cause for alarm. Let's go further. The suspect was reportedly arrested at the Ilela border point, where police recovered 4 AK-47 rifles. The Zamfara Police Commissioner Mohammed Dalijan said during a briefing in Gwasu, the state capital, and you can see the picture in front of you. But it is bigger than this, because if somebody has been operating for 8 years, I'm not talking about 8 days. We are talking about 8 good years where we have 365 days in a year. How many weapons are they moving on a monthly basis? And you work that out for the last 8 years. That is more than enough to fight a civil war. Now I realize why Malafia, from what we heard from him, which I want to remind you again, what Malafia told us before he died some few years back. Once again, you're watching a live transmission on a security alert that is currently being played out in Nigeria today. Listen to Malapia one more time.
Which is it for you, Dr. Obadiah? Do you think the government is unwilling or unable to protect the people of Southern Kaduna?
In fact, it is not only unable, it is unwilling, and we have good reason to feel that they are part and parcel of the killers. Let me make some revelations to you.
That's a very big allegation, Dr. Obadiah. The government is part and parcel of the killers.
Yes.
That's big.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. How would the government just say, oh, it is revenge killing and so on? Then you leave it there. Oh, because it is revenge killing and so on and so forth. The body language of this administration, the body language of the state government shows clearly that they have a hand in the killings. No doubt about it. Because, you see, General Abacha, and people don't give him his due. Do you think you would have tolerated such nonsense? And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay. Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. One or two who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They're already in the south, in the rainforest of the south. They're everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2. The phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities, going from house to house, killing prominent people. I can tell you, this is the game plan. By 2022,
every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Once again, a security alert as we continue, to bring you up to date. Let's remind us of this particular clip that I've also, picked up that I want to share with us. Once again, quite a lot of, moving developing story in Nigeria regarding the security threat to millions of people, today, tomorrow, and in the next couple of days. And our job is to quickly make sure that, we alert many Nigerians to prepare for the worst case scenario. It could happen today, it could happen tomorrow. I don't have all the details, but what I can tell you is that we have some of this information that we share with you. So let's quickly watch this as well, as part of the old video of the retired Commodore OLAYOMI. This was in 2021 when he was warning many Nigerians of the threat that is coming to us, but we don't believe what he was saying there.
Don't they get intel and say, look, this and this is what we found, and then we don't think that this should proceed further? Doesn't that happen?
It does. When I worked with the DSS in 2007, because when Yaradua approved the operational order that we did, we now have to work together as a team. He actually forced all of us to sit down together and work together. I was surprised at the tremendous amount of information had by DSS. I was shocked. We in DI, I was in Defense Intelligence Agency, and when they were forced to bring out the files, I was shocked. They have so much information at DSS presently as I'm talking about what I'm talking about. They have. But you see, if a fish is going to get spoiled, it's going to start getting spoiled from the head. The DSS will not do anything except the Commander-in-Chief's body language shows that this is the direction I want to go. That is where the problem is. The DSS has tremendous information. By the time 2023 is here and somebody take over and wants to undo some of this evil that I've seen in this country, you'll be surprised names that the DSS will bring out. They have the information. There's nothing I'm going to say here that they don't have. The defense headquarters have the solution for the kinetic aspect. They do. I'm not going to come here to advise them. I work with them and they're still there. The Chief of Naval Staff was in the intelligence with me. We were together in the Defense Intelligence Agency. That's Vice Admiral Gambo. I know these people are good. They know what to do. It's not that they have problems. It has to do with politics, the sponsors, people that feel that this country should be Islamized.
Once again, welcome back to our transmission this afternoon as we're taking you through, a fast-moving development of the security threat to millions of Nigerians tonight. As there's an ambush. The military has confirmed it. What the military is not telling us is how the numbers of the military personnel that have been killed. Rather, they're giving us false information regarding the numbers. I can confirm that the numbers is bigger than what they're telling you. 200 military personnel has been killed. 40 of them has been taken away by the Fulani terrorists. But like I said, there is other moving development that is playing out. We're going to come back again because it is not just, Comrade Olayomi that is giving us information when it comes to some of these atrocities of these agenda of the Islamization of Nigeria. Let's also listen to, these other, Colonel Hassan Labo, another retired former Army intelligence officer that was warning us of this threat that is coming to us. And it seems as usual, we are people that doesn't like to be listening to the fact. Rather, we are looking for miracles to save us from these menace. Once again, my name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. So let's quickly go again to the next video while I mute my mic.
We cannot, and I repeat, we cannot negotiate with these guys. We've got what it takes to crush them off. You only begin to negotiate when you've not done your homework. When you've not put in all what you should put in place. So when they have taken over your kids or your citizens and hold them ransom, there is nothing you can do. Any attempt at rescue operation, there will be high collateral damage. You will lose nearly half or over 3/4 of them. And what you are compelled to start negotiating. As a country with a strong defense force, haven't actually equipped your inventory, my God, you go out there and crush the enemy. That is what I expect from Nigeria. We did this in Liberia, we did this in Sierra Leone, we did it in the... What is happening with us? Is this Nigeria? Our sovereignty is threatened. Bandits have taken over this country. And we are watching. We are watching. For Christ's sake, we must save this country. This is the only land we have. Can someone tell the president that Nigeria is sinking? We are sinking. Every day we are sinking.
Well, Colonel Hassan Labo, I understand Labo. I see you spoken as a soldier.
Once again, we can only say that Nigeria sank, in 2014. But the problem is many Nigerians still do not want to accept that Nigeria sank some 10 years ago. Well, almost 14 years now because we're now in 2024. We're going to come back to more videos, but let's take you through to some of the headline that is also coming out from the developing story. As I can tell you, the intelligence that came to me almost 2 hours ago now has now told me to go out there and tell Nigerians to cry out more. If not, there will be invasion of more Fulani terrorist attack. Let's take you through to the report that is coming out, swiftly from the news network across Nigeria. And, most of you have read the news. It's currently all over the place. But what we are not told is the truth behind the news, which is what I am a little bit concerned about, that some of the medias in Nigeria are also aware of this intelligence from what I'm told. But what I'm told is that, they are too scared to come out and tell Nigerians the truth. I don't know why, because, the truth has to be said, and the truth is the only way out to save millions of people before things goes AWOL. So what I'm about to give us right now in just about a few minutes is the current attack that took place, and I'm talking about today, yesterday night, when over 200 Nigerian military were all, killed. Like I said, most of their families will never be told that their loved ones have died, because that would then bring these, situation as it stands right now. So let me give us some of the headline. I've got them in front of me right now. So let's go straight to, Sahara Reporter. Boko Haram terrorists attacked Nigerian army base in Borno. Let me take you back again to the FCDO, the Foreign and Commonwealth, the first state that they are warning Nigerians that are living in the UK, that are, Nigerians stroke British, or they are just their citizens that are traveling to Nigeria. Do not go to Borno State. B-O-R-N-O. Never, never travel. And this is not just for the diaspora. It's also an advice to many Nigerians not to travel to Borno State. Borno State is one of the most high end of terrorism operation because the government lost Borno State long time ago. Forget about all the lies from the governors telling you that they are in charge. They are no longer in charge. It is now a state operating 24/7 where terrorists can move around without any challenges. We have the videos. There's a lot of evidence to show that, but I am not showing you the evidence, but I am showing you what the Foreign and the Commonwealth Development is telling me, that Borno State in the northeast should not be visited at any point. Don't even go there for nothing, because you will be killed, you'll be kidnapped, and you might have to pay every ransom, and your life will also be lost to it. So if you look at the Sahara Reporter news, I'm going to tell you about the Koikimedia news as well, because we picked up the news as well on our channel, which is the Koikimedia International News. And if you look at the headline, Boko Haram terrorists attack Nigerian army base in Borno State. 5 soldiers were killed. This is what I thought we had at morning when we were reporting this news. But we will have to update our news, because I have now been told that 200 people died with the intelligence that came to me 2 hours ago. But when my team and myself were putting out the report, we were going in accordance with the Nigerian military telling us that 5 soldiers were killed, 4 were missing. It is not 4 that were missing. I am now confirming to Nigerians that 40 innocent military personnel are no longer found. Many weapons were moved by the terrorists. And I'm not talking about just ordinary weapons now. I want to keep that for now, because I'm told not to tell you some of the weapons that were taken off the Nigerian military. That I've been told not to reveal that yet. So we are currently now in a very deadly situation as we speak right now in Nigeria. Let's go further. So if you look at the Arise news as well, all the Nigerians have picked that. Arise is now also taking us to Niger State. The situation that we're talking about is happening in Borno State, but simultaneously, there's another attack in Niger State. According to the NSCDC team, attacked the Boko Haram while monitoring the national grid installation. Again, when you get this news that they attack, it is the opposite. We know that the reason why the grid has shut down continuously, which many Nigerians already have that information, I don't have to tell you, is because the terrorists want to shut down all the grids so that they can move in either in the night or when most of you will be sleeping. So it is important that we now make sure that most of us that have, whether you're in Lagos State, it doesn't matter whether you're in Anambra, in Enugu, it is important that every citizen must now be much more intelligent consciousness. You must look at your surrounding. You must be able to identify a threat even at the long distance, because, like I said, things are moving at a fast pace as we speak right now. So we come back to that in a minute. But if we go back to another article that came out, today is the 20th of the month of November, but 7 days ago, this is where we talk about the new terrorist. This new terrorist is not something that is new. It is only that we are told that is new. There's nothing new about the new Lakurawa, as they are known. These are not new terrorists. They are just added terrorists that is currently operating, that the military, the intelligence, Nuru Ribadu is aware of these, But Nuru Ribadu, if you remember, was telling us that they will crush every, and I want to bring that up in just about a few minutes, because this was what Nuru Ribadu told us, some few weeks back. There's a video evidence, but I'm just going to give you, what he said actually, that any terrorist, we will deal with them. And I guess I can show you that so that we can just have it as a lock into the discussion today. But once again, let's listen to the late Malafia again. I know you might be fed up with it, but it's important that we shouldn't be fed up with this information, because whatever Malafia told us, maybe I should leave the Malafia for now, because I want to take us to Owo in Ondo State. How many of you remember the terrorist attack in Owo in Ondo State? I'm sure some of you have forgotten, but we don't forget because we remind you of all these attacks. Let me remind you that while Akeredolu may so continue to, whether we agree with him or not, if you remember that there was an attack in Owo, in Ondo State, and those are the video evidence. I know they're a little bit graphic there. This happened, this was Peter Obi, giving his own, condolence. This was December 2022, but the attack itself was on the 5th of June 2022. A mass shooting and a bomb attack. This is what I'm trying to not say bombs and shooting, but this is exactly what I'm told might happen. There will be sporadic shooting across every part of Nigeria. How soon this is going to happen, when they're going to activate those intelligence, I have not get them clearly, but we are hoping that we can know it in time and we can advise many Nigerians, to be very conscious of this development. But if I take you back to June 5, 2022, right inside the Catholic Church in the city of Owo, in Ondo State, the same state that the King Ooni of Ife has just opened a park. I don't know whether Ooni is aware that there is a lot of intelligence in Ondo State, whether that was the best option to have that, even to be showcasing when the country is going through a rigorous problem of insecurity. But I'll leave that to the palace to decide, because I do not work for the palace. But if we remember that nothing less than 40 people were massacred, and I'm not talking about just massacre, we saw every details of that. We remember that we sent our team down there, the Koikimedia team, to cover that event. These are the corpses during the burial. We saw Akeredolu cried during that period. We are telling everyone now to please take these warnings serious. The intelligence is very clear. The intelligence says to me that countries are already aware whether they will be updating, their portal from America to Canada. I'll be monitoring that, and as soon as I picked anything from them, I'll be sharing that with us. But right now, there is a security alert in Nigeria. Let's leave that. I just wanted to remind you that there was quite a lot that happened 2 years ago, because we're still 2024. 2 years ago in Owo, in Ondo State, we lost 40 people at the Catholic Church. So let's come back again to this new terrorist that we're looking into now. This new terrorist is not new, because like I said, Ribadu was saying something that I've now been able to review back with the intelligence that is coming to me. That was Ribadu aware, or was Lagbaja aware, that these terrorists are already operating and they are moving at a fast pace? We heard that they are paying people 1 million naira to join them, and all that was also happening. But like I said, this security alert is not something that we should all joke with. It is something that we should all take very, very serious. My name is OLAYOMI Koiki, and you're watching the Koikimedia breaking news that is fast-moving development in Nigeria right now. So I want to bring us what Nuru Ribadu told us, some few days back, not too long ago, when he was actually asked. Remember that Nuru Ribadu is the National Security Advisor in one of these new Islamic sects in the Northwest. What is he warning them about? What is he saying? All that I'll be telling you, because Nuri Ribadu himself says nobody dares President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but already these criminals, these terrorists have dared Bola Tinubu and they've killed military personnel, which happened yesterday up to today. Once again, my name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. Please share the program because it is important that many Nigerians get the security alert and start to think of what to do, because what you are not going to do is, if you leave everything to the government. I didn't say that, but this man says so, and let's hear from him how he warned us some few years back.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Let's listen to Nuri Ribadu. If you look at this article from the channel television, this was just 7 days ago. Lakurawa, spelled L-A-K-U-R-A-W-A, Lima Alpha Kilo Uniform Romeo Alpha Whiskey Alpha, making a mistake. Nobody dares President Bola Tinubu and wins. But these terrorists have shown Tinubu, while he's in G20 summit in Brazil, that they are ready to do more, and 200 personnel lost their life. Insisting that the terrorist group have come at the wrong time. When Tinubu is in power, the NSA vow that they will be kicked out of Nigeria, but I can tell you that that's a lie. They are not being kicked out of Nigeria, rather they are being kicked back in. Because the intelligence is showing that an Algerian in Zamfara state for the last 8 years has been supplying what we know as all kind of manners of weapons. But we also have the video evidence of what Lagbaja says, and let's listen to that video evidence to back it tonight.
Controller, very amiable Bashiru, told us. For the first time, we are hitting 5-point-something trillion. Tinubu gains. Tinubu gains. And it's happening all over. And we are just 1 year, 7 months. Let them wait and see 2025. It will happen. We will secure this country. We will fix it. We are not jokers. Tinubu is a success. It has never been a failure with him. We will fix our country. Nigeria will be up. And that's why we are proud. Like I told you, we lost one of us, very painful one. We lost Lagbaja, a personal loss to President Tinubu, and also to me, an incredibly good person, very loyal, very, very committed, very honest.
Sorry about that, my audio was muted. I'm asking the question, was Lagbaja sacrificed, killed? He was aware of the new terrorist, just as the NSA was aware as well. The question is, how do we resolve this problem? The sound is back. It might be delayed from your end. The sound is definitely back. I'm aware of the comment section. Nuri Ribadu, as we know, is telling us that they will kick out this new terrorist. But the new terrorists also are working with the old terrorists. We saw that the new terrorist is sending invite to Tuji Bello for collaboration. There is danger ahead.
What our controller, very amiable Bashir, told us. For the first time, we are hitting 5-point-something trillion. Tinubu gains. Tinubu gains. And it's happening all over. And we are just 1 year, 7 months. Let them wait and see 2025. It will happen. We will secure this country. We will fix it. We are not jokers. Tinubu is a success. It has never been a failure with him. We will fix our country. Nigeria will be up. And that's why we are proud. Like I told you, we lost one of us, very painful one. We lost Lagbaja, a personal loss to President Tinubu, and also to me, an incredibly good person, very loyal, very, very committed, very honest.
We have just a few more minutes to the end of this broadcast, and I want to cover the last bit before we end this emergency broadcast coming this afternoon from the Koikimedia network as we continue to look into it. So, what we know, just a summary: Boko Haram terrorists attacked Nigerian army base in Borno State. That's it. 5 soldiers were killed. That was in the morning. But right now, it is not 5 soldiers. Excuse me. It is not 5 soldiers that were killed. We're talking about 240 missing. Gun trucks and other equipment destroyed. An Algerian is supplying weapons across the Northwest for the last 8 years. The new terrorist organization that Ribadu says they're going to be kicked out, they're still fully in operation in Nigeria. Let's take you to 2021 by Tope Fasua. Nigeria and the infamous Islamization agenda. We could have risen above such sentiment and made Nigeria a model country. But is anyone trying to Islamize Nigeria? I want every Nigerian to put this in their well-kept location that nobody can take it off you. The question is anyone trying to Islamize Nigeria with a question mark? Can anyone Islamize Christians or Babalawo Orisha, the whole of this country? As a fact, we all know the tug of war between Christianity and Islam in Nigeria. These two Abrahamic religions are always struggling with each other for elusive supremacy. Of late, and especially in the South, many young Muslims have found it easier and more fun to switch to Christianity, thus spurring Islam leaders. Give it to Nigerians: when someone cannot measure up in the other areas of life, religion becomes the last refuge. Nigerians love their religions, perhaps a little more than they love their ethnicities. Their nation. Who cares about that? Who even needs a nation? We are fixing to start identifying ourselves by our ethnicity and religion when we go abroad. We're exploring ways of issuing international passports that shows that we worship and how, including the indigenous language we speak. Some say that it is the only way forward. Who says we should hunk down and try to make something of our nationhood? Just as every other geographical expression, the world has tried to do, intellectual dishonesty takes over. We are, however, hunting for those who have hurt us, those who have wronged us. We don't get it. That is, our claims will be stronger, more valid. So, the question is just to say again, is there an agenda to Islamize Nigeria? Is there an agenda to Islamize Nigeria? And how soon will all these continue to play out while we are all sleeping before we get caught into the mess that some people are creating to take as many lives as possible? My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. That is how far we're going to take you this evening on this security alert that has just arrived on our desk. We will continue to monitor the situation and we will continue to update many of you across the globe. Remember that security is the biggest threat to any country, and if your country doesn't have the security, the end is getting closer. There's an agenda, and that agenda is being pushed faster than what we might expect. I'll leave you to review every detail of what I've been said here. I'm aware that the security are also watching. The same information that we have, most of them have it in their possession, but Nigerians would not be given those information apart from platforms like ours. Once again, every Nigerian have the right to defend themselves, and I hope that you'll be able to defend your loved ones when these terrorists will do their havoc against innocent Nigerians. Have a very good evening and enjoy the rest of the day. This, you've been watching the Koikimedia platform, which is Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Thank you so much once again. I will be back some other time for more programs. And for now, good evening and bye for now.